Hello and welcome to the November Internationals 2017 Round 3 predictions, brought to you by DrivingMaul. Hi, I'm Paul, the guy behind DrivingMaul, and thank you very much for joining me. So, running through the Tier 1 games first, Italy host South Africa. Both these sides have won one and lost one. Let's be honest, South Africa's won. It was only a 1-point win over France. It was hardly convincing after a big loss to Ireland. Italy saw off Fiji before being downed by Argentina. I remember Argentina haven't beaten a Tier 1. Well, that's their first Tier 1 victory this season. Still, so I think even though Italy did beat South Africa last year, you've got to say in November, you've got to say that South Africa will be gunning for revenge, and I'm backing South Africa by 5. I'm not expecting them to necessarily be a blowout, but I think they should win it. Next up, Scotland versus Australia, and I have seen some comments on Twitter that this is revenge for the Rugby World Cup semi-final. But hey, Scotland had that in the summer when they beat Australia down in Australia by 5 points. It was 19-24 that day. Now, Australia are better than they were then. They've built better during the season, but Scotland are also a decent side as well. Both these teams, one win, one loss so far. Obviously, Scotland losing to New Zealand and Australia losing to England last weekend. And I'm backing Scotland at home to win by 3. Back-to-back wins over Australia is a bit of a rarity for Scotland. I have no idea when the last time that has happened, but yeah, I think they're in the shout of doing it this time. Next up, England host Samoa, and we're seeing definitely an experimental back line and also pack as well to a certain extent from England in this game. We've got to say that England are likely to win this one quite comfortably. I'm backing England to win it by 15. Samoa also were downed by Scotland earlier in this window, and last weekend, who did they play? They lost to Romania as well. So, yep, England should take this one quite comfortably. Wales are hosting New Zealand, and it's kind of interesting that there's a lot of people saying that with New Zealand missing 5 of their first choice pack, and their entire front row, Bodie Retallick and Kieran Reid, are all missing there, and also in the back. So you've got to remember that Ben Smith is also missing there. I know a couple of other players who might have started: Milner, Scudder, Dag, Geordie Barrett, for example. And so a lot of people are saying this is Wales's first, best opportunity for an upset win in a long time. I really can't see it, to be honest with you, and I'm backing New Zealand here by 15. But I say there's a lot of talk on Twitter that, hey, this could be an interesting one. Next up, Ireland host Argentina. And I said earlier, Argentina's only Tier 1 victory this season has been over Italy. Ireland are going well. I'm going to back Ireland by about 15. Comfortable win there. And then finally, France, who are off the back of 3 losses so far in this window, losing. Admittedly, one of those was a sort of non-cap game against New Zealand, but losing to New Zealand and South Africa narrowly. Big in one of the games, but not the other one. I've got to say, I think they'll beat Japan, though, by 7. Japan obviously lost to Australia at the beginning of this, but then beat Tonga last weekend quite comfortably. So, but still, I think I'm backing France to win this one by about 7. Let's have a look at some of the Tier 2 matchups also happening this weekend. So Georgia are hosting the United States. Georgia coming off the back of that loss to Wales. You've got to say they'll be looking to win that. But the United States are coming in with a bit of confidence after beating Germany 17-46 last weekend. Germany host Chile. Now, obviously Germany had that loss to the USA, but they did beat Brazil earlier in this window. Chile, on the other hand, I can't remember what their other games were. So I'm going to quick scroll through so I'm going to find it. But I think that Germany, I back Germany to win this one. As I say, we haven't got any record of Chile having any games yet, so they'll be a bit rusty. And I think that this is that Germany are a good chance for a win there. Namibia host Uruguay in the second of their double header down in Namibia. Uruguay won last weekend quite comfortably, and you'd expect something similar to happen again. It was 36-52, so a bit of a high-scoring game down there last weekend. Spain are hosting Brazil. Now, Brazil, as I say, lost to Germany earlier, so I think backing Spain to do well in that game and to win that one, even if Spain did lose to Canada last weekend. So, and Brazil did beat Belgium. So, perhaps coming off different bits of form, but still I think Spain should go well there. Fiji play Canada, and you'd expect Fiji to go well in that one. Even they lost out to Ireland last weekend. It was only 23-20, where, as I say, Canada I lost that game now. Beat Spain by 10, but I think they had a bit of a loss earlier in the window from memory. Yeah, they lost to Georgia 54-22. So I've got to say I'm backing Fiji to beat Canada in that one. Coming down the list, Romania hosts Tonga. Tonga had a bit of a rough time last weekend against Japan, and so I think Romania should look good in that one. And that rounds out the end of the games. Romania beat Samoa last weekend, so you'd expect them to back that up and beat Tonga as well. So that would be a very good window for Romania. So, always have good rugby chats. Please let me know your thoughts on how the games will go this weekend and down below in the comments. Cheers. Catch you all later.